it's horrible. People hate you, and you're just an embarrassment to you and yourself and your family, and blah blah blah. And everything's gonna kill you. Everything you're gonna die. And so there are these thoughts that are like they're your thoughts, but they're not like thoughts that you want to have. You're like, because you're like, there's part of you that's like one has good thoughts, and then you got these other bad thoughts just keep popping in right all the time. And then of course then you got the depression because you got anxiety like, hey, we're gonna die, blah, 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 blah. And then there's this other part of you, depression part, another part of you that's saying stuff that's like, oh, what? That sounds like a good idea because this sucks. I want out of this. And the anxiety's like, no, we don't. This is terrible. Everything's terrible. And the depression's like, yeah, I agree. Everything's terrible. This is gonna be over. And then you're sitting there in the middle, and you're like, well, these are my thoughts, but they're not my thoughts because they're not the thoughts that I want to have. And then, but these thoughts are just keep popping in, and they're being thoughts that I don't want to have these thoughts. And so you're like, I have to stop having the bad thoughts. And I was stupid. I have really kind of dumb thoughts, and I don't want to have these thoughts. I want to have better thoughts. And then everybody's like, oh, why don't you just cheer yourself up? And you're like, I can't cheer myself up. There's part of myself that won't listen to me. And that's kind of the problem, because I don't want to feel yucky. I just feel yucky, and I don't want to feel yucky anymore. And how do I stop feeling yucky? Well, you got a lot of it, you got, when it comes right down to it, there's no easy answers. There's just no easy answers. But, you have those moments where you find yourself where you can kind of pull it together for a minute or two. And then you're doing okay. And then you just kind of keep pulling it together and going, kind of working your thoughts out. And then your thoughts, pretty soon you're controlling your thoughts. So the other thoughts, the bad thoughts you don't want to have to be thinking, you start thinking more positive thoughts. And you really just kind of start telling those thoughts to stop thinking. And then you're pulled to what? Okay, so what I'm trying to say is, it's a pretty crappy thing to have to go through, and I'm really sorry you have to go through it. And people out there, if you got friends and stuff who are going through that kind of stuff, don't just say, hey, suck it up, man. Even though, a lot of times just saying, because you don't want to hear people tell you to suck it up. You just gotta finally just tell yourself, I'm gonna suck it up. I'm gonna deal with it. If I gotta go see somebody, I'll go see somebody. There's no problem with going to see somebody. And if you broke your leg, you aren't gonna try to fix it yourself, are you? No, just go see somebody who knows what they're doing. That's what you should do. So, all right, that's kind of my point. You're pretty awesome. Have a super awesome day. And if you can convince yourself to just be happy, then that's pretty cool. And if you can't convince yourself to be happy because there's parts of you that just doesn't seem to like they want to be happy, well then just go see somebody to help you work that out, because that's pretty cool. They know what they're doing. They're good people. I can give you some referrals. All right, so you're pretty awesome. Everybody have a super awesome whatever you're having. All right, we'll see you around. Stuff. I found my remote so I can turn it, so I don't have to reach over to there to stop it. I can just. And good morning, everyone. That, of course, my video about anxiety and depression. A little course for those who've never experienced it, so you understand people are going through it. So when you hear when somebody says they're feeling depressed, don't say things like, "Well, just cheer up," because they're not. They would like to cheer up, and then for those of you who, of course, experience it, the secret is go outside, get in the sun, move, and go do something. And that's the answer. I hate to tell you, you got to get moving and start doing something so your brain stops thinking about being depressed. It's the answer, and it works. So there you go. There, we saw that. That's what solving all the world's problems right here. every day, every morning. We come together at 9 a.m. and we solve all the world's problems with quick and witty anecdotes, memes. We mental memes. That's what we do here. We're just one uh, brilliant thought after another. So it's been a fun weekend. Because Friday, I'll give you a fill you in on what went down at the court in Marion, Virginia. Um, the the whole thing took a total of 5 minutes. They said you were speeding. You speeding? I said, well, yeah, I was speeding, but I wasn't going as fast as they said I was going. And then they did the whole. It was a weird thing because the lawyer was like, "Have you had your speedometer calibrated recently?" And I'm going, "Who who has their speedometer calibrated? What are you talking about?" I mean, I was like, "What?" Now, look, my whole point was I was trying to get like I don't know, plead down to operating with defective equipment, or maybe or take a class and get it off my record. And so that's what we ended up doing. They said, well, you're obviously too old for this to matter. You've gone this long and you haven't any serious problems driving, so we're gonna let you take a class. So I'm gonna take a traffic court class, and then it doesn't go on my record. So I'm happy. I was happy. They kept probing me. They were like, "Well, where were you going?" And I'm like, "Well, I was going to Florida." "Well, what are you going to Florida for?" And I'm like, "I don't think this is relevant." But I was like, "Well, okay, you asked." I'm a stand-up comedian. I was on my way to a gig, and that's why I was driving. They wanted to know why I was driving through Virginia from Utah. So I told them. And then they all got a chuckle out of it. And after I told them I was a stand-up comedian, then all of a sudden they wanted to work with me. He's like, "Okay, well, we'll just have to take a court class. Every one of these courses online." And so it's worked out great. So I don't get the speed ticket. I still have to take one of these traffic courses. It's like 8 hours online or something. Watch. I remember back in high school, we had to sit through all these. They was called red asphalt videos, and it was just hours and hours of car crashes and people dying in car accidents because they weren't wearing their seatbelts or they weren't paying attention. Of course, back then we didn't have the cell phones to distract us. We had the radio. The big thing was looking at the radio to change the radio dial, because it was you would look. You didn't need to look, but people would look, and that would, or changing out your cassette tape or your CD. Well, when I was in school, it was cassette tapes. CDs were, that's what the rich people had. They didn't really filter down to the rest of us for a couple of years, but like cassettes. And so that was the big distraction. Now now you watch TV. Yeah, now you got every distraction while you're driving. So I hope you're not driving distracted, people. I hope you. I'm trying to turn. I just turn my phone off when I'm driving. I try to put it far away from me. I turn it off, put it on the side of the car, and just, unless I have to use the GPS, but then I have a regular GPS most of the time. But I'm trying not to just even have my phone. No, because it used to be. I mean, it used to be if somebody tried to call you, you weren't available, you just called it back later. I mean, that's what you did. They just had to wait till you called it back. But now we've all gotten impatient because it's like, why isn't it calling me right back? Well, I got things to do. I'm driving. That's what I'm telling people. I'm driving. So anyway, so that went well. And then this was my funnest part of being in Marion. We decided to grab some breakfast before we headed out of town. So we stopped at this little diner there on Main Street in Marion. Delightful place. They had a lot of. It was one of those kind of places you want to eat breakfast at. You know what I mean? Because it's all the waitresses are older women. You know what I'm saying? They all look like their grandma. Look like they probably worked there for years. Um, there was a lot of knickknacks for sale. pot holders and soaps and clever sayings knitted into art decorative wall hangers. That kind of stuff. That kind of stuff. It was great. Um, there wasn't a matching chair anywhere in the entire building. It was exactly what you wanted it to be. And we got breakfast there. And while I was there, some fine gentlemen recognized me. They stared at me and they thought, I think that's him. But then they were doing the whole, why would he be here? They had that moment going on with themselves, and then they decided it was me, and so then they decided that they would say hi, and so they did. So they came up, and very very kind gentleman. He's a pastor at Brookside Baptist Church. Um, what was his name? David. There it is. Pastor David Medley and his friend. I think his friend is Jacob. Anyway, there they are, Brookside Baptist Church. Very fine gentleman. Really enjoyed chatting with him and got some pictures together and had quite the spectacle going on there. It was quite the excitement there at the restaurant because people realized, hey, there's sort of kind of almost a sort of possibly a celebrity in our midst. And so then other people around us tables, older women, kept asking, "Who are you?" And then my wife is explaining who I am, and then they all started getting their phones out and looking up and trying to figure out who I was. So it was an exciting moment, glorious moment in my day. And then of course we drove on to North Carolina to visit my brother and his family. Had a wonderful visit with my sister-in-law for a few hours. Enjoyed hanging out with my brother. It's always a delight. And we compared various supplements that we're taking. We're both into working out. We both work out all the time. Okay, here's the deal. Our dad, he had a lot of health problems throughout. And so like he had bouts with cancer, heart problems, diabetes. I mean, it was high blood pressure, all the stuff. He had all the stuff. And he ended up passing away at 54 years old from a heart attack. And so both of us kind of, we're both worried about that. So he's past the 50. He's got past the 54. So he's good now. He got past the 54 and he's good. But I'm closing in on it. I'm coming up to 54. And it's always just weighing in my mind. So the whole weekend we were comparing the various supplements that we're taking. He introduced me to this one I hadn't heard, natokinase. You see that one? This is not I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm just telling you what so this is like it's good for your blood, thins your blood, and makes your helps you with your blood pressure and your heart. So he introduced me to that one, and then I introduced him to this stuff, the NMN, and so it was fun. We just whenever we get together, we start comparing notes to the end of the world's going on, and then of course supplements that we're both taking, and so we compare notes, and it was fun. It was fun. It was nice having my wife look and see the 3 cupboards full of supplements that he has. It made me feel better because I got the same thing going on. We're both into the taking good care of ourselves, or at least try and take care of myself. But so that was fun, and we talked auto racing because he's into in tropics. Yeah, I do. I do the mushrooms, which I do these I do these genius mushrooms. It's the lion's mane, which is good for your diabetes if you don't know. But yeah, I'm into those mushrooms. I'm not into the psychedelic mushrooms, the psilocybin. I'm not into that stuff yet. So, um, curious, how did your wife describe who you are? Oh, at the restaurant. Yeah, it was funny because the guys, David and his buddy there, we got pictures, and then of course the whole restaurant's at a buzz, like what's going on here? And this one lady right next to us, she's like, "No, what's going on? Who is he?" And then my wife was like, "Well, he's on the internet. Are you on social media?" And she's like, "Oh no," and she's like, "Well, he's big on social media stuff, YouTube and Instagram." And she goes, "I don't know what any of those are." And so my wife showed her a video, um, and she got really excited about it. And so we said hi. So that's it. That's what's going on. It's a weird celebrity when you're an internet person, because the one thing you find is that your numbers of who follows you is not exact representation of the number of people who know you. Because there's people who know me don't follow me because they're like, why would I follow this weird old dude, right? So they won't follow me, but they'll watch my videos. So you got that going on, which is exciting. It's a weird thing that people have going on psychologically when they finally decide to actually follow somebody. I don't know if they think that there's I don't know. I don't know. It's weird that you'll have people watch all your videos but never follow you or subscribe to anything, but they'll keep watching your videos. They'll like them, but never follow. It's like I don't understand it. I don't explain. You people do your own thing. You're doing your own thing, and that's great. So anyway, so I woke up this morning. We drove all day. We got back home and had a nice evening, just kind of chilling out, relaxing. And I got up this morning, and I'll be honest with you, I really wasn't feeling doing the live thing today. I wasn't into it. Wasn't thinking it was going to happen. Because one, the number it's been weird because when I first started doing them, the numbers were decent, and now the numbers aren't that great. So it's like diminishing. It's like I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do this until I don't have one person. It's probably just going to end up just me getting on live and having a FaceTime with James Walker every morning. I think that's probably what this will reduce down to. But you know what? That's fine because I love James Walker and he's there to support me all the time. So he was one of the earliest. He's the guy who does all the cartoons. If you see a lot of cartoons of me, it's James Walker. And he's been cartooning for years, right? And he stopped doing it until he saw my videos. And then he thought, you know what? I am still alive. I can still do stuff. The dream of being a cartoonist had long gone out of his thoughts. And then he thought, why not? I'm still here. I can still do this. So he started drawing cartoons of me. And then it got him revising his old characters. And so he started doing those. And then he started doing cartoons of other comedians. And then there's a band called Water Tower. I've talked about those guys before. He started doing cartoons for them. And anyway, he's kind of gotten a second wind artistically from just doing it. And now he was doing a lot mostly of me for a while, but now he's off doing his own thing again and create new characters and having fun. And he may never get rich and famous out of it, but he's having fun doing it. I mean, that's the whole thing. Is you probably aren't going to get rich and famous out of any of this stuff. There's so many people doing all this. You're competing with so many different people. I mean, it's great that anybody can. I mean, you could literally just decide you want to start doing some sort of art thing or whatever and just start doing it. You can start your own news program. Literally just have news things you want to talk about and start doing. You could do literally any freaking thing you want to right now and find an audience for it. It's pretty amazing, really. but you are competing with lots of other people doing the same thing. So it's like now it's more opportunities for people, but there's more people taking advantage of those opportunities. So it's even more, it's just as competitive as ever before. But at least now you can just do it on your own. You know, there's a guy I've been seeing. He's been popping up lately. A guy in Seattle who just he does news segments at night when most news stations are down. He's going out and still finding news and creating segments, and then sells those clips to news stations for their morning shows and stuff. Brilliant plan, brilliant deal. And now he's started to do his own news thing because he's already got all the great equipment. Why not? So he just starts doing his own news thing. So he's doing stuff for other news people and doing stuff for himself, and it's pretty cool. It's awesome what's going on right now. And if you're not into it, man, you should be. You should jump into it. You want to do something creative, have some fun, do it. You want to create music? There are people out there who want to listen to what you got going on. And here's the other deal. Now I want to do artist of the day, right? And so before I played music for Cliff Dorsey, but now here's what I'm running into. If I share their music while I'm live, my live gets muted, and then it gets flagged for a copyright, and then I can't use any. I have to cut out the part where it's dumb. And what I don't understand is why is it so easy for people to steal my stuff and do whatever the hell they want with it? But when I take somebody else's, just share part of it, not even for aggrandizing myself, but just to share it, I get flagged. I don't understand any of it. And as far as that goes, Puya, update on Puya, they reached out to me and said, "What do you want?" And I said, "Here's my list of demands, if you will, my writer." And they have not got back to me. So at this point, we're right where we were before, other than they have acknowledged my existence. So I can't complain about that. They have acknowledged my existence, but they haven't done anything otherwise. But anyway, so I get up this morning and I'm like, dude, should I keep doing this live? Should I keep doing this? I don't know if I should keep doing this. So then I decided, well, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to worry about the numbers. I'm just going to get up there and throw it out there and see what happens. Give people a little encouragement. I'm not here to share the news with you. I don't got any news to share with you. I'm not going to talk about what's going on in the world. I'm here to talk about you. That's it. That's it. That's my goal. You wake up, you're feeling, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't want what's going on with my life. I'm a little bored. I'm a little just moving to be moving. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. I feel your situation, and I'm here to give you some love and support, my friends. And just know, hey, just keep moving. Just look in the mirror, give yourself a big smile and a thumbs up, and say, "Let's do this again. Here we go." And you'll be up and running in no time. Yeah, just stop thinking about it. Just get up and just do it. Get up and do it. Just get up, be happy. Posted a new video this morning, and that was my thing. A lot of these videos I make for myself, to be honest with you. Who's the person I'm talking to? Usually it's me. It's me trying to convince myself to get up and do something. So I can share my videos. And so I've been sharing. So that's why I'm going to start in the morning and share one of my videos. Maybe tell you a little bit about it. That particular video, the anxiety, that was made in Utah, on the west side of Utah Lake. There's a little public area where there are people camping out there all the time. There's a little bit of a hill there you can go up on, but but it's a perfect backdrop with the mountains there right behind you. Mount Timpanogos, if you know where that is, it's a beautiful. It was just right there, and then every once in a while, just the clouds are in there, perfect, and it's just gorgeous. It's one of my favorite places to film videos when I'm in Utah because it's not that far from where I'm staying most of the time, and I can just go out there. There's hardly anybody out there most of the time. I mean, during the summer it gets a little crazy, but and I've noticed more and more van living people are there, but it's a great spot. And so I'll go out there. In fact, towards the end of the video, if you're paying attention, you hear a car driving by, and that's what happens. Just while you're there, literally no one's around, middle of nowhere. I start the video, and as soon as I start recording, 18 people show up. It's uncanny. It happens to me every time I go out there. But I'll get like a few minutes of quiet where I just film, and then all of a sudden there's a whole bunch of people there just running around. I had one time I went out there and I was filming. Somebody had requested a birthday video, so I'm doing a happy birthday video for somebody, and I'm there right along the water line. No one's there. It's early in the morning. It's like 7 in the morning. There's no one there. I'm like, this is perfect. I get everything out. I get everything set up, and I start to record. And just as I hit record, this car comes down into the little area that I was at, and these two people get out and start having a fight. Like they're yelling and screaming at each other. But it wasn't like I hate you fight. It was just sort of a weird. It was like a mock fight. It's like they were pretending. It's like they weren't really fighting, but they were just being loud for the sake of being loud. But they were having a very loud conversation. Let's just say that because I didn't see me at first, and then they, as they were yelling at each other, they noticed me because I was packing up to leave because my opportunity to make a video without having people yelling and screaming at each other. I'd missed the window of opportunity, so I had to go. It's going to go to somewhere else, and so it's a little weird. There's lots and lots of people in Utah right now, and it's really rather disparaging. I love Utah, but man, there's a lot of people there now. Everywhere you go, there's a bunch of people there. So again, I have to drive out to further and further places to find nice places to do videos. I mean, I could just do videos in the middle of a bunch of people, but you never know what you're going to pick up when you're talking. So, what's up, Kansas? Hello. Oh yeah, updates on shows. Okay, so this week I'm having a little bit of fun. This week I am flying to Loveland, Colorado to perform a wedding on Thursday. It's going to be fun. It's just me and the couple. That's it. Just me and the couple doing a very small wedding. I'm going to see if they want me to record it, or if I can record it, but maybe I'll share it with you. Yeah, artist of the day stuff. Yeah, I'll do that. You know what I'll do? I'll do that. I'll share some information without playing their music, I guess. But there are some others that I want to tell you about, like my friend, comedian Jerry Wayne Longmire. If you haven't looked up him, he'll be our artist of the day. His name is Jerry Wayne Longmire. He's out of Texas. I met him down in Texas when I was doing shows down there, and he's just one of those guys that just hit it off with, just liked him for the moment I met him, and just thought he was funny. And we've only had I think we've worked on one time together, but we've been pretty decent for, kept in touch. And it's really cool. He's starting to blow up on social media himself because he does these astrology based on the truck that you drive or the cowboy boots that you wear, and he's doing some videos about his relatives, and very funny gentleman. So if you get a chance, check out my friend Jerry Wayne Longmire. He's on all the socials, and he's getting up there. But anyway, so I'm going to Colorado this week. I'm going to be flying into the Denver airport. I'm very excited about it. Will be interesting. And then I'm flying back here. I'm waiting to hear the words back, but I might be going to California this weekend to film a movie. I haven't got. We were gonna film last weekend, but there was a problem with the weather, so they changed it. So I think it's going to be this week. I don't know. They say as soon as they have it ready and they can film the scenes, they're going to fly me out there. We're going to film for 2 days, get all my scenes done, and then I'm on my way. But haven't. Don't know for sure what's going to happen with that one. And when I know more about the story and when it's going to be out, I'll tell you. But those opportunities presenting themselves a little more often, which is nice. Let's see what else is going on. Oh, next 31st, I believe it's Thursday. I'm going to be out on the Cape in Massachusetts, doing a show, so I'll have that posted on all my socials, but it's next week, next following week there. And then April 8th, I made a video for this one. April 8th, I am in Keokuk, Iowa. It's right up in the corner where Missouri, Iowa, and Illinois connect. It's right in that area, right there. But Keokuk, Iowa, and it's going to be a fun show. It's a 50th birthday bash, but it's open to the public. Tickets are available. You can get them on my website. Then we are going to be in where is it? Oregon. Shortly after that, in Eugene, Oregon, at the World Pies. It's a pizza place. That's coming up. That's on the website. And then, of course, Rexburg, Idaho, and Wise Guys Las Vegas. Going to be Wise Guys Las Vegas, April 14th and 15th. And then the next weekend I'm in Idaho Falls, and then in Idaho Falls, Rexburg, Idaho, and then Ogden, Utah. So that's where I've got a lot. It's going to be fun. A month of April, I'm going to be gone the whole month on the road, out hitting it and having a great time. So it will be delightful. And are you rich? No, I am not rich. I am scraping by the skin of my teeth. Not hitting the big time. In fact, one thing, I had been making money on Facebook Reels, but now that's ending. So one of the things I was making money on is over, and I'm not exactly raking in the big bucks on anywhere else, because I don't know if you're aware, but TikTok does not pay well. Plus, TikTok numbers are, I don't know, people are dropping the app all over the place right now. Everybody's thinks it's going to get canceled, so everybody's just been jumping off of it. So it's been going down. YouTube's been, I had been doing well on YouTube, but now I'm not. Now I'm just sort of, I'm okay on YouTube. So no, I'm not rich, and I'm not making a whole lot of money doing it. I make more money selling T-shirts and hats and calendars, and we did really well for Christmas, but now it's Occasionally we get a sale but no. In fact, the only time I really am making money is if I'm on the road doing shows. So no, in answer to your question, am I rich? No. I know there's thing where you can look and they've listed my net worth somewhere online and it is enormously egregiously incorrect. I wish it was that. I wish it was that. But it is not. No. No. In fact, I got a car payment coming up on Saturday and I don't have enough money to make it. That's where I'm at. So I got bad credit and I'm in debt. So no, I'm not rich. I'm not rich. I've been contemplating going and just getting a regular job. Because I got bills to pay. Oh, thank you, Marius. If I ever come to Norway and stay at your house, that'd be awesome. Sleep in a hammock. That would be fun. I would enjoy that very much. And you make me pizza, Norwegian made pizza, and sleep in a hammock. That sounds like my kind of adventure. I'd love to do that, Marius. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. If you want me to come to your comedy, here's the deal: is that I'm out of that window where agencies are looking for comics. They want to find the younger guys, you know, and rightfully so. I mean, if you're going to put your time and effort into somebody, you want somebody who's going to have a long career that you can build up. I have no guarantee I'm even going to be on the planet in the next few years. So why would they waste their time with me? So I get it, right? I'm not what agents are looking for. So I have to really kind of fight to get into the clubs. And I can get like off nights or, that kind of stuff where it's a door deal. And those have gone well. Every time I've done them, they've been happy and they want me to come back. So it's nice, but they're never going to put me on the regular weekend rotation because I'm not with one of the bigger agencies. You have to be with a big agency to get the A-list spots on the clubs. I don't have any kind of representation that will get me that. So it's just me on my own, and I contact the club and say, hey, if you let me come on a Tuesday night, I'll bring a bunch of people. And that's about it. That's where I'm at. I am in with a few clubs. I'm in with Wise Guys. And so that's why I'm able to do Wise Guys on the weekends because I'm in with them. I already, I work the B clubs for Wise Guys, if you will. And, but it's because I have an in there. But most clubs I don't have an in. I don't because they work with the bigger agencies, Gersh and all these other guys, and I'm not in with those people. And again, they haven't ever reached out to me. I won't even know how to get a hold how to get in with them. So that's where I'm at this point with getting into clubs. So when you say, hey, there's a club here, that's great. But unless they know who I am, they're not going to book me. And I'm not that famous. I mean, I know I'm famous to you guys because you know who I am. But I'm not famous to the rest of the world. I'm not a recognizable. As I like to explain, if you have to explain who you are, then you're not famous. And that's kind of where I'm at. And that's why I'm not in the bigger clubs. I don't have representation to get me into those clubs. And I would love to get representation, but again, I'm not what they're looking for. And I get it. I understand. It's a business. They want the young hip guys, the people the young hip people who go to clubs and spend money. That's who they're interested in. I'm not what Gen Z is looking for as far as entertainment options. You got me or Ralph Barbosa. You're going to go with Ralph Barbosa because he's a young, hip, good-looking kid, and he's funny. And he is. He's very talented. Very talented. I worked with him in Dallas last year. That kid is funny. That kid, he's doing a great job. He's killing it.
he's all over the place, and that's how it was. But North Carolina was delightful. I had a great time. Again, just went and visited with my brother-in-law and his family for a bit. It was fun. I love hanging out with my brother Tracy and of course my brother Michael. We're all very close. We still talk all the time. I'm very close with my brothers. Love all of them. And it was fun because he has two kids and their kids to this day. Uh, I I don't know. They're very shy, so they sort of they acknowledge my existence, and so that's all I can ask for. It's all I can hope for is that my nephews, my nephew and niece, acknowledge my existence. They spoke to me when I spoke to them. Very respectful, good kids, smart kids. They're doing. My nephew's restoring a Mustang with his dad, with my brother, and that's really cool Mustang. I'm pretty excited for their project. And then my niece, she goes to Appalachian State, and she's going to be a nurse. She's a very smart gal, very smart. But they're very shy. But love them all, love them. It was a fun weekend. Wasn't sure if there was going to be a memorial service or something for for the mother-in-law, but think they're going to do that later in Utah when they got more people because she moved to North Carolina because they were there years ago, so that they could be near, so they could be, have someone to watch over and help them. And but all her family and friends, and everything are in Utah, so they're going to be doing the funeral memorial service later. So, but it was nice to just kind of hang out for a little bit with them. Just have a lot in interest, a lot in common. My brother, like I said, we exchanged vitamin and mineral that we're onto lately. Seems sort of ridiculous to only want young comics. I personally want to see someone with some life experience, knowledge, and wisdom. Yeah, I agree with you, Kelly. But like I said, it's a business. And if you're going to spend your time and effort promoting a comedian and getting them work, you're going to take somebody who's got a long career that's got a trajectory upwards. Mine is there's no idea what my trajectory is. I don't even have one. So it's just a business, and it's just a different way of working it. Instead of getting upset, bothered by it, I just understand this is what I'm up against, and so I just setting up my own shows and have my own doing my own thing. I actually make more money doing it this way. To be honest with you, but I need to set up more shows so I can. Because actually, one show gets me so I can make enough money so I can get to my next show. That's about you live paycheck to paycheck. I live from show to show. So the more shows I have, the shorter distance between shows, the better I do. So, thank you. You're super famous to me. Thank you. You even have my picture as your. That's awesome of you. Thanks. I think your younger genes are more easily offended. I think I think younger genes. Yeah, that could be. That could be. They're worried I'm going to say some old Gen X stuff. I'm pretty even. I don't know. It's a weird thing that we got going on in this world right now. Let's see. James Holiday from Ready Player One. Yeah, I get that a lot. I get that a lot. I have been getting some. Occasionally, I get hate mail because they think I'm making fun of people who are um, handicapped to some degree, and I'm like, have you ever seen Holiday? I've I've actually mentioned that I was doing this character before Ready Player One, by the way. Just so you know. But it's a lot based on, I've seen, if you ever watched old interviews with Einstein, he was sort of kind of out there where he just social norms didn't apply to him, is basically what it was. And that's how my character is sort of this, um, just doesn't see life the way everybody else does. So things that are important to him aren't important to anybody else. Um, that's kind of the idea behind the character. So it's not making fun of anybody. If anything, I'm making fun of people who are super geniuses. That's who I'm making fun. I'm not making fun of people who aren't smart. I'm making fun of the way enormously intelligent people communicate a lot of times, because they're so disconnected with the way we are. You know what I mean? It's kind of fun. Get a shave with Chris? No, no thanks. I don't understand why people are like, "Hey, you're highly recognizable. You should shave your beard and cut your hair so you can look just like everybody else." Nah, I'm good. I'm good. I have no interest in when you are trying to fit in with everybody else. That's when you go crazy. When you're trying to fit yourself into what everybody else is doing, that's when you drive. That's when you surrender your identity and you surrender your sanity. When you just say, "Look, I'm going to be what I'm going to be. I'm going to live my life. I'm going to wear the clothes I want to wear. I'm going to listen to the music I want to listen to." Look, I listen to Bread. I listen to Yacht Rock. And people are like, "Oh, you listen to the music of an old white person." Yeah, you know why? Because I'm an old white person, and I don't care. I'm going to listen to whatever the hell I want to. I listen to new stuff too. I like Sturgill Simpson. I'm always looking for new music, but I still like what I like. I don't care. I really don't care about fitting in with anybody, because everybody else is doing it is probably the dumbest excuse to do anything ever. Yeah, people that tell you to cut your beard is because they're jealous that you have one. That's why they're just jealous, because they themselves don't have the chutzpah to grow a beard and maintain it properly, and so they're jealous. And so I never go, oh. And plus, look, I'm 50, almost 54 years old. I've never consumed alcohol or tried tobacco because I never cared for it. Never falled for peer pressure before, and now all of a sudden, some dude on the internet telling me to cut my beard. Oh no, I gotta appease that person. All of a sudden, now I'm gonna fall to peer pressure. Yeah, good luck with that one. Good luck with that one. I remember one time I was backstage at a comedy show at a club, and a comedian. I'm not going to mention who he is, but he's passed on. So um, he was teasing me because he had heard that I had never drank alcohol, and so he said, "Well, it's my sworn thing tonight. We're going to get you drunk." And I just started laughing at him. I was like, "You seriously? You seriously? I've gone, I've gone my entire life without drinking alcohol, and all of a sudden I'm going to fall to the peer pressure at 40? Really?" I just laughed at him. I said, "That is the most ridiculous thing ever." I said, you're going to have to commit an assault to be able to pull that off, because I ain't drinking nothing." And he goes, "You sure you don't want to even miss it?" I said, "You can't miss something you've never tried." Every person I've ever seen drunk looked like an idiot, did stupid things. And I can do dumb and stupid things on my own. I've got that down naturally. I don't need the aids of alcohol to exacerbate my stupidity. I'm plenty dumb on my own. I don't need help. 50 in June, sweet. No, I don't. I do not puff herb. I do not consume in the marijuanas at all. Never. I said I've just never had a desire for it. Never had a desire for it. I think it smells nasty, and I don't really care for it. I have no problem with people who do. I don't. I don't look down on people who use it. Um, I don't. I don't have a problem. I think it should be legal everywhere. I don't. I think if we make alcohol legal, and as damaging it is, and yet we're not allowing marijuana, which I would say probably has more benefits. I mean, still there's still issues, but marijuana has some benefits. Alcohol doesn't. Alcohol is just pure poison. Marijuana actually has some medicinal purposes to some degree, and yet we make that one illegal. Probably because marijuana is easy to, you know, people could just grow it in their yard, and that's why we had to make it illegal. Is because you just make it legal and everybody can just have it, and it's not that big a deal. But make your own alcohol takes a little bit of effort. You got to and marijuana people don't come after me. I know that they're growing operations and there's a science to it and they, to make it perfect it. But ultimately, if somebody just wanted to grow one, you could. Is my point. That's why it's a weed. Anyway, so no, I don't have a problem with people who do it. I don't like the smell. I don't like of anything altering my mood. I don't. I've never needed substances to feel good. I've had times. I had Demerol once when I'd hurt my hand working on a car. Uh, Hit the exhaust. It was a little, started working on it. Was a little too hot. It was a dumb mistake. Like I said, I can do stupid things on my own. I don't need drugs and alcohol. I'm a natural. But I hurt my hand, so I went in, had to get it bandaged and everything. And they gave me Demerol for the pain. And although it was a unique experience, it was basically pretty loopy for a few hours. I did not like it. I did not. I did not. When I was done, I was like, "Oh, I want to feel that again." No, no. I've been on painkillers, and never once had any. I wanted off of them as quickly as possible. In fact, I don't think I've ever finished a full bottle of any kind of painkiller in my life. I just don't. I just don't like them. I never cared for it. And again, I look. It's just me. I mean, I don't think I'm better than anybody else because of it. I don't look down on the people who've experienced addictions and stuff. I get it. I mean, I have my own little silly addictions. Sugar's my addiction. Sugar's my problem, and it's a nasty problem, and I need to stop sugar. I really do, and I'm trying to take care of myself. But I still have a sugar addiction, and I know this. So I get it. I understand what, and it's not. I'm not trying to equate sugar to alcohol. I understand there's a huge difference, but to some degree, I understand the addiction to something. So, and that's all I'm trying to say. I have been doing the oils. I do black seed oil, olive oil, and MCT oil every day. And then I also have been taking apple cider vinegar on a pretty regular basis lately. So, um, um, yeah, that's the problem. Is that we don't treat we our medical system is not designed to treat the disease. It's designed to placate or treat and soothe the symptoms. We don't cure diseases. We just maintain them. That's the problem with our with our medical system is that there's more money on the treatment than there is the cure, as they say, and that's the problem. You're on to something. Yes, yes, apple cider vinegar and fasting helps. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Um, but yeah, no, anything that just that alters your mood, I don't. I'm not a big fan of it. So I have no desire. People are trying to get me to try ayahuasca, peyote, all of those kinds of things. I really just when they describe to me what their experience, I'm like, well, you can do that through breath work and meditation. You really can. I know I've experienced everything they tell me that they are experienced on because your body creates DMT, and if you can learn how to tap into the DMT, you can experience those same things. Um, very short, but you're in control of it when it comes naturally. So I think a lot of these people that use drugs to have spiritual experiences, I think what you're getting is a false positive. I think you're having a like spiritual experience, and it might be more significant than anything you've ever encountered. And if it can be life changing, and I'm not here to disparage that, but what I'm saying is that you can experience that naturally and more profoundly without the use of the drugs. That maybe the drugs got you to a certain point where you've experienced it, but when you experience it naturally without the drugs, it's even better. That's from my experience. Again, I haven't used the drugs, so I don't know. I could be a place of ignorance on my part. And again, I don't have anything against those who do them. I can only speak from my experience, and I have found it that you can what they've described to me, I've experienced through natural means, and that it's not necessary to have all those things. Plus, why would God create this world and all of its wonders, but only make those things available to in a very limited supply to a very small group of people, right? I mean, now more of it's available, but it hasn't been available to everybody. So, and again, I'm not disparaging towards your experience and I don't want to take away from your spiritual experience. But what I'm saying is that there is something greater and something more that you could experience without those things. I don't think that they're absolutely necessary. And I know a lot of people have experienced them who've had very negative effects and have had very scary experiences that are not anywhere near being spiritual. Um, on the other side, I've read studies and things of people who have had like PTSD and things that's been healing to them. Especially microdosing, that kind of stuff. So I mean, that's the thing is there's medicinal purposes for these things, and that they do have some benefits. But suggesting that it's something you should be doing all the time, that's where I would say like, slow your flow on that one there. That's where I would say. What were you talking about? Oh yeah, I know Joe Rogan would argue that, but I'm not worried. I'm not worried about Joe. Joe Rogan is a smart dude. He's a good man. He's number one podcast in the world. That is fantastic. And he has some great guests, but I don't agree with everything he has to say. And he would even tell you, this is where I like Joe Rogan, is that he tells you research on your own, draw your own conclusions. You don't have to agree with him for him to still like you. And that's how I am too. I don't. You can agree with me or disagree with me. I'll still like you. If you want to, if you're one of those kind of people that has to hate me and stop following me because you think that I'm not 100% everything that you think I should be, that's your problem. I don't dislike you. I I don't. I love everybody. I got nothing but love for everybody. I think we're all on our own paths. We're all on our own journey. And when you start um, disliking people or judging people because they're not seeing the world the way you do, you're hurting yourself. You're hurting yourself. You are setting yourself back. And like I'm still open. Like I said, I haven't tried any of this stuff. Maybe one day I'll try it. I don't know. Right now, I see no need to. Maybe one day I'll give it a shot. Who knows? Like I said, I've had some really good friends who tried it and they have very positive experiences with it, especially ayahuasca and peyote. And maybe one day I'll try it. I'm not closed off to it. I'm just saying at this point in my life, I have no desire to. I have no need to, shall we say, because I have deeply, uh, deep spiritual experiences all the time through study, through meditation, through breath work, and so I have no desire or need to use these things. Again, not against anybody else who does. I think it should all be legal. I think that we should be allowed to experiment how we want and we wish. I think if we do that, and then people can go and experience those things in a controlled environment and protective and safe environment where they have that it can only be lead to good things. It can help a lot of people. And stigmatizing them and making them illegal and stigmatizing people that use them, I think that's a mistake. That's a huge mistake, huge, gigantic mistake. And something that we need to get away with because they've done it in Portugal where they just made everything legal, and now they have they don't have the drug issues there because when people have drug issues, everybody knows about it, and it's the actual cause for the drugs needing the drugs is addressed, and then the need for the drugs is not doesn't stick around. They solve the problem, and we can learn a lot from. If you go look it up, go look up drugs in Portugal and what they've experienced. Pretty amazing thing. And instead of instead of us learning from that model, we keep going down the one we want. We are because basically the pharmaceutical companies have made alternatives to every drug that's illegal is illegal because there's a pharmaceutical grade drug to take its place that they can patent and make money off of, and that's the biggest problem. In fact, this one, if you guys, if I was just talking to my brother about when I was mentioning this stuff, NMN, um, which I learned about through Joe Rogan, just so you know. Um, NMN, pretty amazing stuff. It does remarkable things. I've been on it for 2 months now, and I think it's fantastic. It's really great for energy, great for, for old people. It's really an amazing thing. Well, now they're currently trying to make it illegal because there's a drug company that wants to use it in their own stuff. So they want to make it illegal so they can patent it and use it themselves. So that then the only way that you can get the stuff is through them and their drugs. So you have to go through the medical system and the pharmaceutical system to be able to get this stuff, which is currently available, um, readily available. There's several places that make it, but they're trying to make it illegal. It's kind of like this whole thing with TikTok. The reason they're trying to make TikTok illegal is because people with more money want to get rid of it, um, because it's a very effective app. And YouTube and Facebook are losing a lot of ground to them, and so they want to make it illegal so that they can basically get all of that business, get all the TikTok, because more people TikTok, more a viewer will stay on TikTok longer than they will on any other app. It's like they'll visit Facebook for a little while, but they'll hang out on TikTok like all day long for hours and hours. um, and so they and nobody can match the numbers that TikTok has. And even though they've tried, they're doing reels and all these different things, they haven't been able to match the energy of TikTok. They haven't been able to match what TikTok does. So, I mean, if you look who's after TikTok, who wants to bring it down, Facebook does. Mark Zuckerberg is one of the top ones saying, oh, it's an invasion of our rights. No, it's an invasion of his pocketbook, is what it is. Um, In fact, I think it's probably going to happen. I think the actual TikTok ban is going to happen. Um, so I've been experimenting on other options myself, Clapper and Rumble and different ones, and Slide. I've tried all those, and most of them, the app is just really weird to follow. It makes no sense. It's slow. It's got like add-ons where they want you to keep buying stuff to be able to use the app, and it's like it's it's aggravating. People who try to copy TikTok, nobody's been able to do it, and because of that, um, they want to take TikTok out, and it's pretty. And look, I understand the concerns about it, that it's run by a Russian or Chinese company, and they're collecting data on us. Every single app is collecting data on you. Google has been collecting. Google knows more about you than you do. Facebook, they all track you. If you go look through the end user agreements, you will find out that they have access to everything on your phone. They have access to all your information, all your contacts, everywhere you go, how much time you spend. They're recording your conversations when you're not, when you don't realize it. They're recording this. I mean, they know what's going on. All of these apps are doing the same stuff, and they're all using it for the same purpose, to find ways to create advertising that's directly going to you. So in some ways, um, the reason we don't complain that much about it is because we're benefiting from it. We're still seeing the benefits of the app. We still see the benefits of the whole thing, and so we still are involved. But there are things you can do to protect yourself. Um, but if you want to be a part of all this, that's how you do it. Uh, so I mean, I was almost interviewed. I'll tell you this. This was kind of fun. I was almost interviewed for CBS Morning News. Um, they were looking for somebody who was on TikTok, who made a career on TikTok, or was big on TikTok. So I was one of the ones they reached out to as a possible uh, interview for their story. I did kind of a pre-interview, and I kind of spent a whole afternoon and one morning waiting to see if they were going to use me. They didn't, obviously, but it was interesting how their story was going. What they were looking for was, what is the app? What's so appealing about the app? Why do people stay on it even knowing the risks of the Chinese knowing everything about you? My point was every app does the same thing. They all know all the information about you. Um, and if they're going to come after you and use it against you, they're going to. But yeah, TikTok is based on a clock in that you spend all your time staring at your phone. It's a big time waster. And it can be, but at the same time, I also get more news probably from TikTok, or learn about things from TikTok that you don't find anywhere else, and then from there I go and I'll research stuff out. So I find out more about the Ukraine issue from TikTok than I do anywhere else, and then all of a sudden all those people that are giving you information about Ukraine, they all disappear. They have to restart their. Uh, it would be cool to come up with something that is like TikTok but doesn't have the censorship. But as soon as you say you're not going to have censorship, then everybody's like, "Oh, you're a white supremacist into child porn," and I don't know. You have to decide, as I've talked about before. You either um, have total freedom, and with total freedom comes a lot of stuff that you have to be an adult and filter through the stuff that you don't want. And every app has a thing where you can filter out what you don't want to watch. you don't want to see certain stuff. You can select stuff you don't want to see. I mean, you can. So yes, TikTok. Yeah, that is true. Yes, but they all can do. They every app allow you every single app. Go look at the end user agreement for every single app, and they all have the right to use your face and your likeness to promote their app. They can use your likeness in your videos in any way. Basically, they own everything that you put on the app. They can do whatever they want with it. Ultimately, they if they want to, they can. Just it's their material. When you post it, it becomes theirs, or at least they have the right to do whatever they want with it. Um, they might not necessarily do it for complete licensing, but they can literally do whatever they want with your ad. And we're at the age where people could take your videos, turn them into something. Well, like somebody did a face swap of one of my videos and put Biden on my face. And in fact, I got sent this video to me every single day for the last year and a half. People just keep sending it to me, like, hey, have you seen this? Yes, I've seen that. I've seen the video. Yes. And I appreciate being used for political purposes, to be honest with you. But I can't stop it. It's out there. I try to take it down, but again, these apps, unless you have a lot of money behind you, they just don't care who you are and what you're doing. And I'm not big enough. They won't even. I have a big problem with Instagram because Instagram allows people to reload my videos as their own and then get paid for them. But I'm not allowed. They won't even verify me, and they won't monetize me because I'm not big enough. But other people on the app have gotten big enough and are using my videos and getting paid for them, and I'm getting nothing. So they're all doing it. I mean, and they just don't care because as long as they're making money off you, they don't care. So every app does it. I mean, to sit there and single out TikTok, kind of ridiculous because they're all doing it, every single one of them. Twitter, Google, which is YouTube, Facebook, they're all collecting your data and they can all do whatever they want with it. And there's nothing you can do. I mean, you can try to sue them if you want to, but somebody stole audio of one of my videos on TikTok and put it in a song, and they won't tell me what the song is. I don't know who the person is. I can't find them. But there's videos that I cannot put on TikTok because they give me copyright violations. It's my own video, but there's no appeal process, and you're supposed to be able to get if you get verified that it's supposed to help you deal with those issues. Nobody will verify me. I can't. I've tried to get verified on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, everything. Nobody will do any verification of me at all. So. And part of that, I think, is just I'm not what they want on the app. I'm not the face that they want having a big success on the app. I'm not that. So I get that. I get it. No sour grapes. I just understand that's the way the world is. So I'm just doing my own thing anyway. I'm just gonna make I'm gonna make what I'm gonna make. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna set up my own shows and have my own website. I'm just doing my thing. And Are they listening? I don't know. But all of a sudden, I just got kicked out of my own site, my own thing. I don't know what happened. I think it was just me. I don't think it was anything nefarious going on. I think it was just my own mistake there. But anyway, we've been on here for a while. You guys got things to do. I got things to do. Thank you for joining me. I'll try to go through your comments and questions, and we'll stay on. So who's got the bigger numbers over here? Looks like we'll stay on with TikTok for a little bit longer. So if you want to show up over on TikTok, we'll be taking more personal questions. But I do love and appreciate y'all. Have a super freaking awesome day. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for taking the time out of your day. I'm going to be going live tonight again with Teresa, my darling wife. So if you want to join us, we'll be doing that later tonight. I think about 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, maybe later. I'm not sure. But it'll be me and Teresa together. We'll be chatting about things that are coming up. And sweet. Oh, TED Talks. I would love to do a TED Talks, but again, they haven't. That hasn't happened yet. But I am writing a book, so we'll see where that goes. See if that gets me in there. So anyway, you've been delightful. Thank you for joining me. Have a super freaking awesome day.